GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good morning, Montreal. I'm Lauren Dupuis. A judge today halted the eviction of a downtown homeless encampment, and commuters should brace for heavy traffic as the SDM strike and Grand Prix preparations pile on. Plus, La Nadia Women's Sports Bar is back open in Oshilehga. Over to you, Ryan.
On Friday, Montreal Canadiens captain Nick Suzuki and forward Cole Caulfield each received NHL individual awards, marking a double for the team.
The awards were presented during this year's NHL Trophy announcements, highlighting both Suzuki's leadership and Caulfield's scoring prowess.
This dual recognition makes it the first time this season the Canadiens have secured two separate individual NHL honors simultaneously.
All right, let's get into it, starting with the latest headlines shaping Montreal this morning and the stories you need before you head out. Good morning, Montreal. Today we'll cut through the headlines to bring you the essential updates you need before you head out. Justice Alexander Pless issued an order today that blocks the city's plan to clear a homeless encampment on the island. The injunction follows a lawsuit filed by a group of people experiencing homelessness who argued that the proposed eviction would violate their constitutional rights to safety, security, and dignity. City officials had scheduled the removal for this week, citing public health and safety concerns, but the judge said those concerns do not override the fundamental protections guaranteed by the Charter. The ruling halts any police or municipal action to dismantle the tents until the case is fully heard. Both the city and the advocates said they will respect the court's decision while preparing for the next steps in the legal process. The court's order confirms that constitutional protections apply to all residents, including those without permanent housing.
Maggie Flaherty has signed a new 2-year contract with La Victoire, the city's women's hockey club, and the organization announced enhanced protective measures for the defender. The agreement was confirmed yesterday, giving the veteran player security through the 2027 to 2028 season. La Victoire, fresh off its Walter Cup championship, said the contract reflects Flaherty's on-ice leadership and her role in the locker room. Team officials also outlined steps to ensure her safety during games and travel, though specific details were not disclosed. Flaherty, who has been with the squad for several seasons, expressed gratitude for the club's confidence and looks forward to helping the team defend its title. The 2-year deal marks another chapter in a partnership that has become a cornerstone of La Victoire's recent success. Fans anticipate her impact as the team prepares for the upcoming season.
On Thursday, a Montreal high school student presented a petition to the National Assembly of Quebec calling for stricter safety measures in school zones. Alexander Mass submitted the document after a near miss while crossing the street to school the previous week. The petition urges the province to address traffic congestion and improve drop-off and pick-up procedures around schools, citing recent incidents that put children at risk. Parents and students across the province have signed the petition, demanding clearer signage, reduced speed limits, and designated crossing times. Legislators will review the request during the upcoming session, with officials saying they will consider how to balance traffic flow and student protection. The move adds pressure on municipal and provincial authorities to act before any further accidents occur. Community leaders hope the measures will prevent tragedies like the one that sparked this appeal.
Today, a Quebec civil servant was dismissed after alerting senior officials to financial risks in the province's rapidly growing battery manufacturing sector. The employee, whose identity has not been released, reported that the government's exposure could be significant if market conditions shift. The termination was confirmed by the Provincial Anti-Corruption Unit, UPAC, after the employee raised the concerns with Minister Christine Freichat. Officials said the dismissal followed an internal review, but did not provide further details. The case arrives as Quebec intensifies efforts to become a North American hub for battery production, attracting billions in private investment and creating hundreds of jobs. Provincial leaders have pledged to scrutinize fiscal safeguards, while the investigation by UPAC continues to examine possible ethical breaches linked to the industry's expansion. The move has raised questions about transparency in public-private partnerships and may prompt tighter oversight of future subsidies.
New research released today by the Institut de Recherche et d'Informations Socioeconomiques estimates that providing free contraception across the province would require roughly $22 million each year. The model projects a reduction in unplanned pregnancies of about 25%, translating into significant health and social benefits. Quebec currently lacks a universal program for free birth control, leaving many residents to pay out of pocket. The IRIS study examined a range of contraceptive methods and calculated the fiscal impact based on current usage patterns and demographic data. While the upfront cost appears substantial, the authors argue that the savings from fewer unintended pregnancies, such as reduced medical expenses and social services, could offset much of the spending over time. Policymakers will now weigh the findings as they consider potential reforms to the province's reproductive health strategy. Stay tuned. Montreal City General Manager is stepping down with a severance exceeding $1 million. Details coming up. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Welcome back. After that break, here's Ryan with the local stories that matter, from traffic updates to community events, so you're ready to go.
Good morning. The Quebec Auditor General has issued a formal censure of the provincial government over its handling of the battery industry. In a report released on June 10th, the auditor said the province's management of the sector was poorly planned and lacked the rigorous oversight needed to address known risks. The findings point to gaps in strategic planning and insufficient controls as the industry expands, raising concerns for workers, investors, and local supply chains. Officials are now facing pressure to tighten oversight and develop clearer guidelines to protect jobs and ensure environmental safety. The auditor's criticism underscores that without stronger coordination, the rapid growth of battery production could expose the province to financial and safety challenges. The government has been asked to respond with concrete measures to improve governance of the sector.
The province announced today that the Programme de l'Expérience québécoise is being reinstated for a 2-year term. Premier François Fréchette confirmed the government will begin processing new admission applications in phases starting July 2nd. The decision follows the program's earlier cancellation, which sparked controversy over its immigration criteria. Officials say the revived scheme is intended to streamline the intake of qualified workers and graduates, helping address labor shortages across the province. 2-year restoration aligns with province's immigration strategy aimed at attracting skilled talent. The phased rollout will prioritize candidates who have completed studies in Quebec or who hold job offers in sectors experiencing demand. The government indicated the PEQ will operate under the same eligibility criteria that were in place before its suspension. Applications will be accepted throughout 2-year window, with first batch reviewed in July. The announcement, made on June 10th, signals government's commitment to a managed immigration approach.
On June 10th, the City of Montreal confirmed that its general manager, Benoit Dagenais, resigned effective immediately. The departure comes with a severance package valued at more than $1 million, a figure that underscores the scale of the transition. The municipality named former Deputy General Manager Alain Dufort as Dagenais' successor, tasking him with steering daily operations while the broader senior management reshuffle unfolds under the Martinez-Ferrada administration. City officials said the change aims to streamline leadership and maintain continuity across municipal services. Dagenais' exit marks the latest shift in a series of high-level appointments intended to align the administration with its strategic priorities. Residents can expect the new chief executive to oversee ongoing projects, from transit upgrades to public safety initiatives, without interruption. The transition is expected to have little immediate impact on services such as garbage collection, water supply, and local permits.
Public drinking fountains across several boroughs will be shut on June 10th, as officials move to curb water use ahead of an anticipated stretch of hot days and reduced river flow. The closures, announced by borough leaders and water safety group OSECers, come with a call for residents to install rain barrels and to avoid any unnecessary waste. Rebecca Petrin, spokesperson for OSECers, stressed that the measures aim to protect the municipal supply before temperatures climb. By turning off sources, the city hopes to reduce daily consumption and preserve enough water for essential services. Households are encouraged to capture rain for garden watering and other purposes, helping to stretch the limited supply through the coming heat wave. Forecasts show a dry spell and falling reservoir levels, so boroughs acted now. Officials say the plan should keep water flowing for all neighborhoods during the heat.
The federal transport minister announced Tuesday in Ottawa that he will not commit to a $90 billion ceiling for the proposed high-speed rail corridor linking Quebec City and Toronto. The decision comes as Alto, the private firm behind the project, awaits federal funding approval. Officials said the minister is not prepared to guarantee the cost cap, leaving the $90 billion budget estimate in question. The high-speed line slated to connect the two provinces remains dependent on federal support before construction can proceed. The announcement marks a pivotal moment for the initiative, which has been positioned as a major infrastructure undertaking for the region. Ottawa officials indicated further discussions will be required to determine the financial framework for the project. The statement was made on June 10 and reflects the government's current stance on large-scale transportation projects. Without a guaranteed ceiling, the $90 billion estimate remains provisional, and the project's timeline remains uncertain.
Let's get a look at your morning forecast with our weather team, coming up next.
A gentle overcast morning greets us, perfect for a relaxed start to your day in Montreal. On this day, Montreal once sweltered to a record high of 29.6 degrees in 2017, a peak that arrived amid a lingering heat wave across the province. Just a year later, an unexpected cold snap drove temperatures down to a record low of 8.7 degrees in 2018, reminding us how quickly the season can turn. For comparison, the climate normal for June calls for an average high around 26 degrees and an average low near 15 degrees. Those extremes show how variable early summer can be, even when the skies look calm. At 7 this morning, Montreal sits under a soft overcast, with the temperature holding at 22 degrees. Humidity feels high at 95%, while a gentle breeze of 9 kilometers per hour drifts from the west. By 9 o'clock, the clouds will part, giving way to mainly clear skies and a rise to 24 degrees. Midday brings a comfortable 25 degrees with mostly cloudy cover, and the afternoon will warm to 27 under partly cloudy conditions. The evening clears again, reaching 28 as the sun sets around 8:42. Expect a high of 30 degrees and a low of 19 tonight. The UV index climbs to 7, so sunscreen is wise, and the wind stays modest, maxing at 12 kilometers per hour from the south. No weather alerts are in effect. Looking ahead, Thursday brings another overcast day with a high of 29 and a low around 21 degrees, keeping the city comfortably cool. Friday steps up the warmth, reaching a high of 32 while the low dips to 18, still under a blanket of clouds. Saturday offers a pleasant break with clear skies, a high of 26 and a low of 18, perfect for outdoor plans. Sunday turns a bit wetter. Clouds return, temperatures hover at 26 for the high and 16 for the low, and there's a 75% chance of rain, so an umbrella may be wise. Finally, Monday returns to clear skies and a milder high of 20 with a low of 15, giving the week a gentle cool down. Keep these trends in mind as you plan your activities.
Traffic snarls from the SDM strike and Grand Prix prep, double hockey honors and La Nadia Bar reopening. Stay tuned, we will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Montreal, the biggest hit to your morning commute is the citywide SDM strike. Metro trains are running on a reduced schedule, and most bus routes are operating only a handful of shuttles, so expect long waits at stations and crowded platforms. On the roads, the Grand Prix weekend prep is already chewing up capacity. Autoroute 40 is backed up between the Laurentides interchange and Boulevard de l'Acadie, and the Descartes interchange in Montreal is seeing slow-moving traffic as crews finish lane reductions. Outside the highway corridors, traffic on Rue St. Laurent and Boulevard St. Laurent is moving at a crawl, especially near the Old Port. If you're heading west on Autoroute 40, allow at least 20 minutes extra. Eastbound commuters on Boulevard St. Laurent should look for detours near the St. Mitchell Bridge. Expect the congestion to linger into the afternoon, with no relief in sight.
There are no verified listings available for today. And now here's Tyler with sports.
Double trophy glory for the Canadiens, but the playoff run is over. Big hardware for Montreal. Captain Nick Suzuki has won the Frank J. Selk Trophy, while teammate Cole Caulfield takes home the Lady Byng Trophy. The NHL announced both honors on Friday, giving the Canadiens a rare individual awards double. According to CBC Sports, it marks a notable recognition for the organization. The Canadiens' playoff run ended at the hands of the Carolina Hurricanes in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final. According to CBC Sports, Logan Stankoven scored one of 3 Carolina first-period goals, helping the Hurricanes advance to the Stanley Cup Final and ending Montreal's postseason. CF Montreal's winter home situation has league attention. With MLS shifting to more winter matches starting in 2027, the commissioner told CBC Sports Soccer the Olympic Stadium could be a brilliant solution if further renovated. The Big O is already undergoing an $870 million roof reconstruction.
La Nadia, now settled on the lively Rue de la Commune in Aucheleh-Maisonneuve, is back in action. Montreal's only bar devoted to women's sports has transformed its temporary closure into an outdoor gate, complete with a spacious patio, extra seating, and 2 pétanque pitches. While the founders hunt for a permanent indoor home, the new venue invites fans to cheer on their teams under the sky and enjoy a relaxed, community-focused atmosphere. Neighbors are already gathering for Saturday matches, turning the block into a buzzing hub of camaraderie and sport. La Nadia matters because it gives Montreal's women athletes a place to be seen, celebrated, and supported, one cheer at a time. Later, we'll celebrate La Nadia's reopening in Aucheleh, bringing the community together with good food, great vibes, and plenty of laughs.
Coming up tonight at 6, the local sunset. Your neighborhood, your city, your news. From City Hall decisions to the stories happening right on your street, we cover what matters most to Montrealers. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. on GMna for the local sunset, Montreal's evening newscast.
The Ville Marie tunnel's eastbound ramps, those that spill out onto Rue de la Cathédrale, Rue Notre Dame and Boulevard Robert Bourassa, are set to close for a brief stretch of work. In the heart of downtown, the streets that usually hum with rush hour traffic are turning into a quiet canvas for the neighborhood. Over the weekend, residents of the historic St. Laurent district gathered with paintbrushes, reclaimed wood and potted herbs, transforming the shuttered ramp entrances into a pop-up garden and a vibrant mural that tells the story of the city's multicultural roots. A group of local schoolchildren, led by a retired teacher, planted sunflowers along the concrete edge, their bright faces reflecting the early morning light. The unexpected pause in traffic has also given cyclists a safe corridor to explore the downtown core, and cafes along Rue Notre Dame reported a gentle rise in customers stopping to admire the art and share a coffee. As the city works to reopen the ramps, the community's spontaneous celebration reminds us that even a brief interruption can blossom into shared pride and connection. And that's a reminder of the everyday resilience that makes Montreal feel like home.
On Plaza St. Hubert, the bustling east side artery of Montreal, the summer street fair Plaza Palooza is kicking off this week. From July 9 through 12, the avenue will pulse with live bands, local vendors and families strolling under strings of lanterns. Volunteers from the community center have draped the sidewalks with bright banners, and the aroma of fresh baked croissants mingles with the salty tang of caramel popcorn. The stage at the corner of St. Hubert and St. Laurent features a mix of indie folk, jazz brass and a children's choir that bursts into chorus as the sun dips low. One moment that has already captured the crowd. A retired schoolteacher, her silver hair glinting in the evening light, takes the hand of her grandson and spins him to the rhythm of a saxophone solo, drawing cheers from nearby shoppers. It's the kind of spontaneous, shared joy that turns a simple street into a gathering place, reminding us all that music and community can brighten even the ordinary. This is the spirit that keeps Montreal humming.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us this morning. Today's decision to halt the eviction of a homeless encampment reminded us of the power of community advocacy. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories that matter to you. Until then, stay safe and keep looking out for one another.